Okay, so we're going to do a 4-inch diameter round tube intersection at 45 degrees in AutoCAD. So File, New, draw a circle with a diameter of 4. Draw my top view on my front view. And I'm going to make it about 10 inches tall. I'm going to use that fillet radius 0 to trim these corners. And of course, this is the front view of this upright cylinder. Then I'm going to draw a line at about 6 inches and an angle of 45 degrees. I'm going to move this from the end point to Shift, right click, midpoint. And I'm going to be using midpoint a lot, so I'm going to change that over here in my running object snaps. And we will turn on midpoint. And I'll need node also, so I'm going to turn that on to snap to my points. Go offset 2. I'm going to leave that there for just a minute. Now I'm going to divide this up, so that's a 4-inch diameter. I'm going to use the divide command and divide this up into, I'm going to do a simple one, we'll just do 12. Of course we can't see the points, we know they're there, but we can do PD, MODE, and set it to 3. Or of course we can type P type and select whatever point display we would like. Right? Then I'm going to project these lines down. And I'm going to just copy them. Clean it up a little bit. Then I'm going to do the same thing up here. I'm going to do a half of a circle here. Trim it out. And then do a divide of 6. Divide this into 6. And then I'm going to copy this right here. And trim this out. And you can leave that there, or you can get rid of it. I'm going to get rid of it. So I like to draw a top view. And I'm going to pull it from this quadrant. And this quadrant, which leaves me this rectangle. I'm going to trim that rectangle out. And of course this is a foreshortened circle, which is an ellipse. So I'm going to pick axis and ellipse. I'm going to pick midpoint, midpoint, and then I'm going to shift and right click to bring up my snaps. Go to perpendicular, and select perpendicular. That gives me the ellipse, which is a foreshortened circle right here. Get rid of this and this. That just gives us a full visual of what the top view looks like. We can also pull our lines a little bit. Of course this is just showing the top of the cylinder, but it shows you how long each one of them lines are. Now I'm going to go ahead and color these. So this we'll do red. These ones right here, I'm just going to go to the next color, yellow, just for a visual. Green. cyan, blue, magenta, whoops, it was supposed to be blue. This one is supposed to be magenta. And I will do this one in orange. I'm going to label these about the same color also, so I'll just use match properties. Of course, that and that. Blue is there. Magenta and orange. Alright, so now my top line is going to be orange, right? So right there. My next line is going to be magenta. My next line is going to be blue. My next line is going to be cyan. And then I'm going to do blue, magenta, and orange, and I'm going to start extending these on. So orange will extend to orange, magenta will extend to magenta in this case, blue will extend to blue, and cyan to cyan. And I'm going to clean it up a little bit, trim. And that means that my cut looks something like this. So we'll go to trim. I'm going to select this with a window. Remember, left to right creates the blue window, so everything contained is selected. That's my cutting edges, and there we go, cleaned up a little bit. So now, in order to simplify this a little bit, I'm just going to go ahead and copy this right here, and then I'm going to copy another one right here, and I'm going to make two different pieces out of it. So I'm going to delete this out of the top one, and I'm going to delete this out of the bottom one. Then, just to simplify again, I'm going to rotate this 45 degrees where it's standing up. And I'm going to do all my projections off of these two items. So, next step. The diameter was 4, so we can do 4 times pi in order to get the circumference. Of course, we're in AutoCAD, so let's just select it. Go up here to Properties, hit this little arrow, and we see right there our circumference is 12.5664. So that means the stretch out of this is going to be 12.5664. So if we roll it out flat, this is the length of the material that it would take. And of course this has been divided into 12, so I'm going to go back to divide. We can pick divide right here also. Select my line, and then 12. Since this is the same size, the same diameter, I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to line it up from this point to that point. Okay, so the simplest way to do this, I'm just going to start with the red, and I am going to copy this line from there to the end. Then yellow, then green, then I've got the cyan, whoops, blue, we've got 2 blues because it's broken up here, 2 magentas, and then 2 oranges, and then the back side's going to be the same. I'm going to use the mirror command, so hit mirror, and I'm going to select everything but the orange, and then pick the top of the orange line and then the bottom of the orange line to show my mirror line, and I do not want to erase the source objects. Now one thing we didn't get was this point, so I'm just going to draw a line from here, and that will give us this point right here, that corner on the cyan. So I'm going to type point or select it, and then put a point here and again a point right there. Draw a line from here to here. And across the top. And that is the development of this intersection right here for the vertical. And then our angled piece that we rotated to stand upright, I'm going to do the same thing and just start copying. I'm going to start over here with this orange. Then I'm going to do the magenta. Then the blue. Cyan. Just working my way around it. There's that blue. Magenta. And I probably could have used another combination of colors, but I like it where it matched up with these. So then we get to this point and we can just mirror it again. So mirror, use a crossing window, select, pick the top of my orange and the bottom of my orange, and there is that layout. So join all the endpoints. And as we've talked of in class, the resolution of this, or the smoothness of these curves, get better the more that you divide this circle up. So if I'd have divided it up into 24 instead of 12, this would have been a lot smoother. And of course, if you're doing this in the real world, you would want it a lot smoother, depending on the size of it. So there's my layout. Now, I'm going to copy these up here and just show the other way to do this. And I'm going to cheat. I'm going to copy these two. So I've already got my lines divided up. If your little nodes get too big, you type regen and it will refit them. So the other method is to take the height and just draw a vertical line. I'm going to copy that to each point. Then trim it up. And then I could color these to match. In fact, I'll just go ahead and do that just for clarity. So we've got red and red, yellow and yellow, green and green, cyan and cyan, blue and blue, magenta, magenta, orange and orange. And then of course we could go, okay, the cyan to perpendicular. I'm going to turn perpendicular on right here. And then we've got our blue, we've got our magenta, we've got our orange, the upper blue, the upper magenta, and the upper orange. And you can kind of see again, we have that same shape. We were just transferring the lines. Might delete that, and then we would mirror it. Just another way to do this. And of course, if you were on paper, you could lay this out, put your spaces, draw your vertical lines, and then take a compass or a divider and measure this distance. Transfer it here and draw your line. Measure this distance. Transfer it over here, draw your line, so on and so forth. Same deal with the bottom one. transfer our distances over, gain these results, and this would be your development of this 4-inch 45-degree tubular round intersection.